This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Teen in court. A Citadel High student who made threats against his school has been sentenced.
Wintry blast. A nor'easter dumps snow in parts of Nova Scotia, triggering widespread disruptions.
And stray dogs. The SPCA says the high cost of living is forcing some in Cape Breton to abandon their pets.
An incoming cold front will drop our temperatures Thursday night. Midwinter cold setting up for Friday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. The Halifax teenager who told a suicide hotline operator that he planned to shoot up his school before taking his own life has been sentenced for weapons-related offenses.
The judge in the case said the sentencing must have an emphasis on rehabilitating the teen and protecting public safety over the long term. CBC's Josh Hoffman reports.
The Halifax teenager accused of making threats against his high school has been sentenced to 4 months deferred custody and 18 months probation with a long list of conditions. The 16-year-old was handed his sentence at Halifax Provincial Court on Wednesday morning after pleading guilty to 8 weapons-related charges earlier this year.
Her Honor gave a very articulate and very reasoned, very thoughtful decision. She reviewed the case law, she reviewed the facts generally, and I thought that the decision was entirely appropriate.
The teen was sentenced on weapons-related offenses, but this case started in April when he texted the National Suicide Prevention Hotline 988. In an exchange with an operator that lasted almost 2 hours, the teen talked about how he became obsessed with school shootings, especially the Columbine shooting in Colorado in 1999. He told the operator he saw himself in the shooters and that he had planned to shoot up his school before taking his own life, but changed his mind a year earlier. The 988 operator eventually called 911, and Halifax police sent a large response to the teen's home. In addition to weapons, police found a suicide note, a list of people to kill, and racist materials targeting Black and Jewish people. At one point, the teen faced 33 total charges, but the Crown withdrew 25 of them, including hate crime-related offenses.
What I can say is that he has pled guilty to a number of weapons-related offenses, and that's what he's being sentenced for. If the Crown drops charges or withdraws charges subsequent to an initial charging period, it's because of a systematic evaluation of the evidence and what can or can't be proven.
Defense lawyer Daniel O'Sullivan declined to be interviewed after the decision. During the sentencing hearing, O'Sullivan proposed a conditional discharge for the teen and said deferred custody would be excessive. Deferred custody can be served in the community, but comes with strict conditions. During her decision, Judge Bronwyn Duffy said to the teen that he should be proud for having reached out to the suicide hotline looking for help, knowing that it would bring consequences to himself, and he has willingly borne those consequences. Duffy told the teen that he was on a sinister path, but has shown signs of changing course, and if he continues to go to treatment, he should have a promising future. Josh Hoffman, CBC News, Halifax.
A Nova Scotia man has been sentenced following an altercation outside Fredericton's Bar District last year that left a man dead. 20-year-old Tyler Totten from Truro was sentenced to 1 year probation and 100 hours of community service. He was one of 4 people charged in the death of 41-year-old Andre Bourgeois. Totten was 18 at the time of the assault and the only adult accused in Bourgeois' death. At a sentencing hearing, the court heard that Totten kicked Bourgeois' chest and shoulder area a single time, but there were no marks, bruising, or injury observed in that area. He was originally charged with manslaughter, but last month pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of summary assault.
Well, parts of Nova Scotia woke up to a blast of winter today. A nor'easter packing wet snow and wind made for a travel nightmare with slick roads and poor visibility for some. The CBC's Brett Ruskin was at the Cobequid Pass this morning, which was closed for most of the day.
Well, what a rough way to start off the winter season officially, with a big dumping of snow and all kinds of wet and messy weather throughout the Maritimes today. So this is the Cobequid Pass tolls. This is Highway 104, the Trans-Canada Highway, the main route that connects Nova Scotia to the rest of the country. This area has been closed for hours now because, according to RCMP, there were a number of trucks, tractor trailers that were off the road. Now, I was just down there. It's not that the trucks are off the road, it's that they're on the road, but just can't get a grip, can't find traction, or have jackknifed and are blocking the lanes of traffic. And so what's having to happen is that there are tow truck drivers with massive tow trucks who have to one by one kind of peel away the onion layers of gridlock that exists down that highway to get those trucks out of the way, see if the next layer of trucks are able to get a grip, get traction, to get moving up the roadway, up the hill, and then try to tow those trucks out of the way next. So here is one of those tow truck drivers talking about the complexity and the difficulty of this operation.
Our plan is to get this highway open as fast as possible.
How do you do that?
We're hooking on the trucks right as we speak, and we're going to tow them out of here one by one to the top of the hill, come back, grab the next one, and keep on going. A very abrupt start to winter here in the Maritimes, with lots of snow, lots of messy weather throughout Nova Scotia, as well as elsewhere in Atlantic Canada today. Brett Ruskin, CBC News at the Cobequid Pass in Nova Scotia.
Oh, Brett looked cold and wintry there, didn't he? Let's bring in Ryan Snoddon now.
I'm sure those truck drivers weren't too happy either, eh, Ryan?
No, and you know, this one really was a variable event. Lots of rain, 30 to 50 millimeters along the Atlantic coastline, and really variable in terms of those snowfall amounts over northern areas. Cobequid Pass, Mount Tom, those were certainly our highest totals, with kind of a widespread 5, 10, 15 centimeters, and even more in those higher terrain areas. That system is moving out. We've got a break, catch our breath early Thursday before this next front moves in. Some showers Thursday will mix to flurries through Thursday evening from northwest to southeast. Could see a slick drive for the drive home. Colchester, Cumberland, areas of the valley as we transition over to flurries for Thursday evening. The winds becoming northwesterly, and they will be howling Thursday night into Friday morning, gusting 50, 60, 70 kilometers per hour, stronger gusts along parts of the coast. And the temperatures, mid-winter-like cold coming in here for Friday. Wind chills approaching minus 20. We'll talk about that coming up.
Well, we hear you. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Premier Tim Houston and NDP leader Claudia Chender both reiterated concerns Wednesday about Nova Scotia Power and its massive cybersecurity breach. Houston issued an open letter to the Energy Board calling for an investigation into inaccurate billing. Meanwhile, NDP leader Claudia Chender says the Progressive Conservative government should take more responsibility for the same issue. She says the province must ensure it runs smoothly. She also says outages caused today's week's nor'easter underscore basic problems with the utilities services. At its peak this morning, more than 25,000 customers were without power.
They could make sure that it's affordable enough. They could make sure that it's reliable. I mean, we had thousands and thousands of people out of power today. That's ridiculous. They could make sure that it's green and that we're going to meet our climate commitments, which we're probably not. But at the basics, you know, the bar should be that people have power and that they trust where the power is coming from. And they've failed on that basic level so far.
Chender is calling for an independent review of utilities ownership and profit structure.
Nova Scotia Health says everything went smoothly after an IT problem caused all of its computer systems to go down for about 2 hours on Friday. The outage meant delays to some surgeries. And the authority says extra staff were called in because they had no idea how long the outage would last.
Typical OR day, and we often move from elective surgeries into more urgent surgeries. So we did delay, not knowing initially when our systems went down how long we would be. And as soon as they were back up, we finished those cases and we're on to our urgent surgeries as regular. So there was a slight delay just to ensure that we knew what was going on and that we had all the procedures in place so we could maintain safe patient care.
Are managed by the provincial government, which also experienced outages. The province says there's no evidence that the incident was caused by a cyber attack.
The Nova Scotia Nurses Union is calling for more progress on nurse-to-patient staffing ratios before the next round of bargaining. It says nurses are often still looking after too many patients in spite of language in the last collective agreement. Gareth Hampshire reports.
Minimum nurse-to-patient ratios are seen as one way to improve working conditions by the Nova Scotia Nurses Union. It described commitments around nurse staffing in acute care settings as a significant step last year and an important way to address what it sees as ongoing staffing challenges.
Nurses are working over capacity all the time. They have way more patients than they should have, and they feel unsafe.
Union President Janet Hazelton acknowledges implementation has taken longer than was anticipated, and requirements are different in every location, but now wants to see a concrete plan before the next round of bargaining to show progress to nurses and patients.
Patients see how busy our nurses are. We hear it all the time. You know, they feel guilty about asking for things because they know how busy the nurses are. If we have appropriate staff-patient ratios, they won't feel that way.
The family of Siobhan Lees described their experience as chaotic in the emergency room 2 years ago. She died after contracting sepsis, and a private member's bill in her name has been introduced by Elizabeth Smith McCrossin. It calls for one-to-one care in cases of patients who are triaged as a level 1 or 2 in emergency.
She had a nurse, and that nurse was actually shared in the critically ill side of an emergency room with multiple other patients that were also critically ill.
The Nurses Union says with staffing pressures, implementation of ratios will be a challenge, but suggests starting small and scaling up. And Smith McCrossin says established ratios could help with recruitment.
We actually would have more nurses, and we'd have much increased retention of our nurses if they knew they could come to work every day and be in a safe working environment with better workplace conditions.
The Department of Health says it has made progress hiring new nurses, pointing to a net gain of 591 new nurses in the last fiscal year. A statement said there is team-based staffing in most clinical areas, including emergency departments, which have a range of other healthcare professionals, as well as nurses. Gareth Hampshire, CBC News, Halifax.
The Deputy Minister of Growth and Development says the government is doing everything it can to address housing needs in the province. The wait list for a public housing space now stands at more than 8,400 people. Chris Morrissey says that demand reflects a shortage of supply.
We're seeing an increased demand in those in need, and you look at some of those different constituents that may need it, whether the homelessness or some of the survivors of gender-based violence, or some of the people that be closer to hospitals for medical reasons, etc. So there are many competing demands for government priorities, and we're doing our best with the resources we have, and then more importantly, leveraging the partnerships we have.
The government is building 515 new public housing units, and Morrissey says even more couldn't hurt.
Cape Breton Regional Municipality is seeing a large increase in roaming dogs this year.
The SPCA says in some cases, people are setting their pets free because they can't afford to keep them. CBC's Kyle Moore reports.
The SPCA is in charge of enforcing animal control bylaws in the CBRM. In a report presented to Council last month, the agency says the number of calls for dogs at large has more than doubled this year. One of the reasons is the cost associated with caring for the animals.
Sometimes we find animals, dogs that need veterinary care, and if owners can't afford that, they might just almost see this as an opportunity to say, you know, I'm going to leave it with the SPCA because it's just not the right time for me.
It's a problem some councillors are receiving calls about.
I have had quite a few complaints in certain areas of the city where certain dogs are roaming around.
Councillor Glenn Perouche says some of the complaints he's received is about dogs that are labelled fierce and dangerous.
Whether it's chasing our individuals on the garbage trucks, our mailmen, or going after people that are walking strollers. I've had those 3 instances that I just mentioned all happened in the same area.
The SPCA says numbers are up in CBRM partly because the cost of living in general and veterinarian bills specifically are on the rise. Kevin Stroban says the agency operates a number of vet clinics and tries to make them affordable, but pet ownership can still be a challenge for some people. He wants people to know they have options.
It's difficult to care for your pet properly, to provide that level of veterinary care that might be necessary. And if people can't do that, we try to work with them to make sure that the animal is looked after.
Stroban says the SPCA has 6 full and part-time animal control officers in CBRM and expects to double that number in the near future. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Sydney.
Some big flakes falling in Fall River this morning. Ryan's up next with a full weather forecast. Stay with us.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
Well, the headline on the show tonight, blast of winter. Yeah, for sure. For some people, it certainly looked and felt that way.
And everybody's getting the cold, right?
That's right. Some, of course, were impacted more than others this morning. Clearly, not much at all in the city. But as we move into the Friday time period, no one will escape the wrath of Old Man Winter.
Coming.
And, you know, we've all had a little taste. We've been dipping our toe in the water, but Old Man Winter is going to push us head first, and the water's very cold on Friday. Have a look at our temperatures out there right now. As you can see, we're right around the freezing mark, -3 in Amherst, and the winds have been a factor, obviously, all day today, especially in through Cape Breton. Current winds sustain in the 40 to 50 range, Sydney back towards Grand Etang and Caribou Point, that northeast. northeast, and we're still gusting 60 to 70 kilometers per hour in most cases there. The wind warnings have ended. We are still looking at a few lingering flurries through this evening in through the northeast. And looking at the big picture, there's the cold front, and that is ushering that polar air from the north right down into central and eastern Canada. Current temperatures right now, minus 24 in Churchill, temperatures into the minus teens in through Saskatchewan and Manitoba and Thunder Bay, and that's the cold pocket of air that's pushing its way eastward, and it has its sights set on Eastern Canada and the Atlantic Canada. As we look at the overnight lows tonight, we're going to be in the minus 3 to minus 7 range for most. Yarmouth +1 the overnight low, or right around that freezing mark, as we will be seeing those temperatures actually bumping up a little bit in towards tomorrow morning. Winds from the southwest on Thursday, 4-5 degrees. Not too bad. Sustained 20, gusting 30 to 40, some gusts to 50 into the afternoon in through Cape Breton as the flurries come to an end through the Wednesday evening time frame. Lots of cloud in the mix overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. Isolated showers for tomorrow morning, so not bad if you've got some plans. Tomorrow afternoon, the showers becoming more frequent ahead of the cold front. Now, for the commute home tomorrow, looks like Amherst and back into the valley, we'll see the potential for some flakes starting to mix in. So could see things turning a little bit slick for that commute home on Thursday. Everyone else likely contending with just showers. And then through the 7, 8, 9 p.m. time frame, a good chunk of the mainland will likely transition over to flurries. Those temperatures will near the freezing mark. This is when things are going to start to turn slick out there, and then really plunging those temperatures late evening and into the overnight. And yes, by the time we get to Friday morning, look at these temperatures, minus double digits, minus teens. We're nearing minus 20 in places like Amherst for overnight lows. By the time we get to mid-morning, really still very chilly. Friday afternoon, we're warming up to about minus 6 to minus 7, maybe minus 8 to minus 9 in through northern areas of the province, but it is going to feel very, very cold with the wind. And let's time out the wind. So we go from the southwest winds Thursday, then Thursday evening into the overnight, they become northwesterly. Looking at the potential for some gusts to reach warning level criteria, or at least close to it in the Tri-County area, and widespread gusts elsewhere in the 60 to 80 kilometer per hour range, 90 kilometer per hour gusts to even 100, looking certainly possible for Cape Breton on Friday morning, gusting certainly into the 80 kilometer per hour range for the North Shore. Note the rest of the mainland, looking at those winds easing throughout the day on Friday, not easing till the evening and overnight for Cape Breton. Wind chill forecasts. Had to dust this graphic off, and typically when we dust this graphic off, we're not plunging right into a midwinter chill, but this is it. Wind chill forecast as we head out the door on Friday morning. Widespread feeling minus 20s, approaching minus 30s in through the north of the province. And then backing things into the afternoon, we're talking about temperatures still feeling into the minus double digits and teens. Snowfall totals. This is going to be, again, that transition to flurries Thursday evening into the overnight. By the time we wake up on Friday morning, kind of a blanket trace to a couple of centimeters, 2 to 5 possible for northern areas, and some pockets of 5 to 10 South Mountain, and then the Cape Breton Highlands with the snow squall potential through the day on Friday into Friday night. We're talking about, yes, the potential for maybe upwards of 30 centimeters there. So it is going to be, and a snow squall watch is in effect Inverness and Victoria County. Snow squalls is going to be a dirty day for driving for northern Nova Scotia, northern Cape Breton rather, on Friday. Still chilly Saturday, a brief warm-up Sunday, and then back into the chilly temperatures Monday and into Tuesday of next week as well. Tom and Amy, are you ready?
Yeah,
No.
that's winter, all right.
No.
What can we do? Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
All right, thanks,
Thank you.
Ryan. Well, the Nova Scotia PEI ferry is vital to the economy of Eastern PEI. That's according to a new report commissioned by the Eastern PEI Chamber of Commerce.
The report also calls into question the timeline for a new ferry promised by Ottawa. The CBC's Tony Davis reports.
It's been a rough few years for the ferry service between Wood Islands and Caribou, Nova Scotia. There have been fires, mechanical issues, and a crash into the docks. That's on top of cancellations due to weather. But the service is vital to the economy of Eastern PEI, according to a new report commissioned by the Eastern PEI Chamber of Commerce.
Federation Bridge has been enormously beneficial to the western part of the province and the central part. But the eastern part of the province has not achieved the same level of economic success or population growth as the rest of the province.
The report says Eastern PEI exports about $700 million worth of products annually, but that number changes based on the reliability of the ferry. The report says tourism has been down in the region, dropping 26% between 2017 and 2024, and it's all hurting business owners in the area.
This is a vital part of our transportation to get goods and services on and off the island.
The report says per capita, Eastern PEI generates 68% more agriculture, forestry, and fishing revenue than the rest of the province, and a considerable portion of those exports go by ferry. When it isn't running, trucking companies have no other option but to use the Confederation Bridge.
I plan on using the ferry, but I know I always have the bridge as a backup. Where most my competition, a lot of them have chosen not to use the ferry, period. They've gone strictly to the bridge.
The company that wrote the report has some recommendations. Those include keeping the MV Northumberland permanently even after a new ferry comes, move to a 12-month service model, encourage more commercial traffic, and for Northumberland Ferries Limited to work on a tourism strategy. The report also suggests there won't be a new ferry until at least 2030. Transport Canada has said it would be completed by 2028, but has since moved away from providing a timeline.
Well, we've got one on the route now, a relatively new boat. Let's keep that one on. And then when this new one comes on in 2030, 2031, 2032, whenever it is, it can replace the older boat that we have on the route now. And then we'll have two reasonably new ferries.
Now, Aiken says this is only half the picture when it comes to the economic impact. He says the chamber is attempting to connect with business leaders in Pictou County and hopes that the two communities coming together will make it easier to lobby for better service. Tony Davis, CBC News, Charlottetown.
Coming up, the federal government is not listing the American eel under the Species of Risk Act. What this means for the Atlantic Elver fishery. federal government says after reviewing scientific evidence and consultation with stakeholders, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous, it has decided to not list the American eel under the Species at Risk Act. Stanley King is with Atlantic Elver Fishery with us to talk about the potential impact of this in what has been a controversial fishery over the years. Mr. King, at first blush, what might this mean for the fishery?
Well, as you know, Tom, this is a long overdue decision, and it's certainly welcomed by industry. We're happy to have this monkey off of our back, and we really do applaud the new minister and her team for getting this done after 12 long years. The impacts are going to be pretty substantial, we think. This opens up the industry for greater development. It also opens up spin-off opportunities like aquaculture, which we could do locally and potentially inject hundreds of millions of dollars a year into the regional economy.
All right, let's get into some of that. First of all, there was concerns leading up to this in terms of conservation or the health of the stock. What changes there?
Well, quite frankly, the decision signals that the government has rejected fear-mongering and has embraced the scientific data that clearly shows that the American eel in Canada is not threatened. It's not even close to being threatened, and it doesn't deserve a SARA listing. The Fisheries Act has all of the tools that the government needs to ensure sustainability and conservation of this stock, and the government recognizes that.
All right, so it's not going on the list, but how likely is Ottawa to expand the allowable catch share?
Well, that is the million-dollar question. We have seen, obviously, in the last few years, an expressed interest from First Nations to access the fishery, which had resulted in the expropriation of quite a bit of quota from the incumbent license holders. So we're not sure what Ottawa's plans are, but there could be a tax increase in the making.
And so who should get that increase?
Well, of course, the industry side would like to see industry at least get some of it, if not all, for compensation for the lost quota that we had taken from us in spring of this year. But ultimately, it's the government's decision, and we're just happy to have the SARA listing off of our back. It was an impending doom that we've suffered through for 12 years that if the wrong decision had have come out, it would have instantaneously ended the fishery. So we're happy to have that off the table.
And now you're talking about growing the fishery, and it's a fishery that I dare say 10 years ago, a lot of people probably would never even much heard of. When you talk about the potential here, what are you seeing?
Well, typically, every year we gauge and quantify the Elver run for the Maritimes through what we call the East River Chester Index. And for the last 7 years, the returns have been off the charts. I mean, we're talking about double, triple, quadruple, 1 year, 5 times the average return. So our stocks are quite healthy, and they seem to be just getting better and better every spring. So the government's going to use this data and develop, a responsible, precautious management plan, and we could foreseeably see, a sizable increase in the TAC safely under a precautionary framework.
I know that it's catching the elvers, the baby eels, and they're going overseas. What might this decision by Ottawa mean for growing the eels to maturity here and selling them rather than sending them abroad as tiny elvers?
Well, that's going to be a big bonus for us. We basically ship out our product and allow China to make 10 times the profit by growing them for 1 year and shipping them back to us. So they make 10 times as much off of our natural resource as the fishermen and the country does. So we are very keen to start our own aquaculture company, and we have done so. And it's about as old as this SARA listing, 12 years, and we have been basically stalled waiting for this SARA listing to resolve itself, because investors won't invest, the banks shy away. Whenever there's the ability or potential for a fishery to end in one foul swoop, nobody's willing to take the chance on that. So this is going to open a lot of doors for investment in aquaculture, and we should be able to hit the ground running and inject quite a bit of money into the local economy, which is a good story and a win for the government as well.
Well, we'll watch what does happen next. Stanley King, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom.
Coming up, Tim Hortons has been lobbying MPs to lift a cap on temporary foreign workers for over a year.
And First Nations leaders are forcing an urgent discussion in Ottawa about promised funding to the child welfare system. Welcome back. Well, Tim Hortons is arguably Canada's most popular coffee shop. It may also be Canada's most prominent lobbyist for temporary foreign workers.
CBC News has learned the coffee giant has been pushing federal leaders to raise the legal limit on the number of migrant workers it can hire. Rafi Boudjikanian has the details.
Over the course of the last 18 months, Tim Hortons and their parent company Restaurant Brands International have been lobbying the government to raise the limits on temporary foreign worker hires. Last year, in a letter released under an access to information request, a company representative wrote to then Immigration Minister Mark Miller asking to raise the cap of TFWs from 20 to 30% of total employee hires. Several months later, the government went the opposite route, lowering the cap to 10% as Canadian views on immigration soured. This year, the company has been lobbying MPs from multiple political parties, the Liberals, the Conservatives, and the Bloc Québécois. In July, Bloc MP Alexis Brunel-Duceppe says the company tried pressing him on raising the cap of TFWs for Tim Hortons stores in his riding from 10 to 20%. Then in October, Miller says the company made the case to extend expiring work permits for TFWs in a smoother fashion. Tim Hortons says it needs flexibility for TFWs, especially in rural or smaller communities.
As an employer, I have a vision. I need people, and they're here as a temporary foreign worker. I've seen many examples where they are able to get permanent residency and stay and become a community member.
The government says it can't predict future policy decisions, but it did design the TFW program with that flexibility in mind. The Conservatives say the program should be abolished, accusing it of importing cheap foreign labor. Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Ottawa.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is promising substantial funding to fix the on-reserve child welfare system. Carney's announcement comes as the federal government faces down a court-ordered deadline to come up with a plan. But as Olivia Stefanovich reports, it's at odds with a competing vision.
We will complete the crucial work.
A pledge from the Prime Minister to fix First Nations child and family services once and for all.
Our approach to child welfare will be First Nations-led, community-led, and it will be supported by significant additional funding.
After almost 2 decades of litigation between First Nations and the federal government, the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal has set a deadline of December 22nd, the day Ottawa must submit its plan to reform the on-reserve foster care system.
This moment in time will go down in history.
But Carney's government isn't the only one preparing a proposal.
And so we're going to file some next steps.
CBC News got behind-the-scenes access to a session at the Assembly of First Nations Special Chiefs Assembly, hosted by the National Children's Chiefs Commission, directed by the AFN to come up with a counterplan.
We've got 25 years of evidence, and we've worked with public finance experts to create a finance approach that would create measurable outcomes for children.
They say it will cost around $50 billion, more than the amount former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau put forward.
If you wish to oppose.
And the AFN rejected.
Every day that we spend discussing the technicalities of an agreement is another day that a child is in care. And that is something that is important to me that we address.
The Indigenous Services Minister says she's determined to bring the two sides together.
It's not just the deadline that I'm concerned about, it's these kids that need us to do our work collaboratively, reflecting the realities.
We cannot take one child and treat the other child differently.
The chair of the National Children's Chiefs Commission says the minister's offer comes too late.
Is it possible that you will be able to create one plan within the next couple of weeks and come together? Do you have any confidence that will happen?
No. Well, that option was there when this came out, when the ruling came out. The option was always there.
It will be up to the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal to decide which solution to move forward to fix the broken on-reserve child welfare system once the Commission and the government make their filings later this month. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
The federal government has pledged another $235 million to support Ukraine. The announcement was made jointly by National Defense Minister David McGuinty and Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand. Anand is attending the NATO foreign ministers meeting in Brussels, where defense issues and support for Ukraine are under discussion. The Canadian money is earmarked for a number of areas that include medical supplies, personal protective equipment, communications tools, and the rebuilding of critical defense infrastructure. Global Affairs Canada says Canada has committed nearly $22 billion in funding for Ukraine since 2022, and that includes $6.5 billion in funding for military assistance to Ukraine through to 2029.
Hong Kong officials say the number of people killed in the apartment complex fire has now reached 159. Police say 140 of the bodies recovered have been identified, among them an infant and a 97-year-old man. Survivors and victims' families have laid flowers at a memorial near the complex. Meantime, the search continues in the burnt-out buildings for 30 people still missing. Residents of the only building not destroyed a week ago returned today to collect belongings. Some 4,000 people have been displaced. Police have arrested 21 suspects accused in a shoddy renovation that may have caused this disaster.
An immigration freeze is now being imposed by the White House. The U.S. will no longer accept immigrants from 19 non-European countries. The move by Donald Trump follows the recent shooting of 2 National Guard members in Washington by an immigrant from Afghanistan. The list of 19 countries includes from Somalia, a failed state in the Horn of Africa that has become Trump's newest target.
I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks. We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
U.S. media outlets report the crackdown on migrants inside the U.S. is shifting to Minnesota, where there is a large Somali community. The mayor of Minneapolis acknowledges that as many as 100 ICE agents may now be in his city.
A restaurant in Saskatchewan is struggling to hire skilled workers. Its owner says she may be forced to close its doors within weeks if she can't keep 2 chefs that helped build the business. As Ashwa Diaduda reports, cuts to immigration programs are behind the concerns.
This Indian restaurant in Lloydminster has become part of the community. But behind the warmth of this kitchen and its lunch rush is fear.
Beautiful. I might have to shut down this restaurant.
Kaur built this restaurant with her savings, her culture, her hopes, and the support of her family. But says the dream is slipping away as both her chefs are nearing the end of their work permits.
If I have this restaurant today, it's not because of me, it's because of them.
Kaur says she's tried everything to keep her staff, job postings, higher wages, but nothing's worked.
It's authentic Indian restaurant we're running. It's not something that, anybody can walk in with no experience.
With federal restrictions on immigration, including reductions to temporary foreign workers, for Kaur and her 2 chefs, the future is on the line.
Kantura's work permit expired in October. He's waiting for an extension or permanent residency acceptance.
Everything is depend to this job for me, and even my parents also depend for me.
Bhupendra Rawat's permit expires next month. He was diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago. If he's forced to leave, he says his children will be kicked out of school and he'll lose cancer coverage.
I'm thinking about their future, my children's future.
It's not just their jobs at risk. Servers, suppliers, local farmers, all connected to one small business. The Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses says this is happening across the country.
Now you're taking away immigration, you're going to have a rapidly aging population without the labor there to sustain the services and operate the businesses that used to be there.
For Kaur, time is running out. She's fighting for their future and a chance to keep her family together. Ashwarya Duda, CBC News, Lloydminster.
Edmonton police are testing out new facial recognition technology in their body-worn cameras. They say right now it's simply about seeing if it works. But as Julia Wong explains, there are already concerns.
Edmonton police trying out brand new artificial intelligence in the fight against crime.
If this technology can help us identify some of the suspects in our database who are wanted for serious criminal warrants, we want to explore that as an option.
Body cameras with facial recognition will be deployed on the streets through December, a Canadian first to test the technology for the U.S. company Axon Enterprises.
We have done a lot of lab-based testing and simulated testing, but this will be our in-field testing opportunity to make sure that the results that we have had match what we would see in the field.
Faces captured by the body cameras will be compared with mugshots in a database of people wanted on warrants for major crimes. Any matches will be verified by humans, but during the pilot project, officers on the streets won't be told. Alberta's Information and Privacy Commissioner is raising concerns.
There are a number of issues with facial recognition technology, particularly around accuracy. And as you can appreciate, if you are involved with the police, if there is a mismatch with a person of interest with your face, it's going to have an immediate and serious impact on you.
Well, I don't know why Canadians should be the guinea pigs for an experiment like this.
One professor says the cameras were meant as an accountability tool for police.
Now we're seeing the cameras being turned around essentially on us and being pitched this technology that would essentially turn officers into mobile surveillance units.
Edmontonians are conflicted.
Anything that can make their job safer and easier for them, I support.
It could seem a little invasive. How reliable is it? You know, how many false hits will they get?
Up to 50 officers will wear the cameras until the end of the month. Then police will decide the next steps. Julia Wong, CBC News, Edmonton.
A new Canadian study is reopening the discussion around the potential benefits and risks of prostate screening. Researchers found a rise in stage 4 diagnoses of prostate cancer a decade after Canada started advising against blood tests for the disease. The CBC's Anand Ram has details.
So here's our phone number. If you want to speak with someone.
Dennis Farbstein is helping people navigate their new prostate cancer diagnoses, having gone through it himself years ago.
Had I not been screened, it could have been gone, into other parts of my body, metastatic, and then I would have been in trouble. So for me personally, I was very fortunate.
But screening for prostate cancer through a controversial blood test known as the PSA isn't recommended in Canada. Now, new research suggests a lack of screening means more serious cases.
Metastatic or stage 4 prostate cancer has gone up by 50% in men aged 50 to 74 and by about 65% in men in their late 70s.
The study also looked at prostate cancer deaths over decades. When screening was more widespread, mortality rates dropped. But when guidance shifted to actively not recommend screening, that life-saving progress plateaued.
We can see the way that screening guidelines are impacting prostate cancer outcomes.
But other experts we spoke to disagree with this interpretation, saying we've made huge progress in diagnosing and treating prostate cancers, and still argue that screening, though simple, may open the door to more problems.
The benefits don't always outweigh the harms, and we don't talk about harms often. You will unnecessarily undergo biopsy, you will unnecessarily undergo surgery or radiotherapy. All of those have complications that affect the remainder of the quality of a life.
Take a fist for me. Advocates argue the blood test should be more widely accessible, and updated Canadian cancer screening guidelines are expected next year.
One of them actually put me in a hospital with sepsis during a biopsy.
Farbstein knows the risks that come with more invasive testing, but ultimately he's been cancer-free for nearly 2 decades and says he's giving back by helping others understand their choices. Anand Ram, CBC News, Toronto.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
Oh, I bet there were quite a few Nova Scotians scrambling to find the snow brushes and the shovels this morning.
Exactly, yeah. But, you know, you did forecast it, but still.
Yeah, it was on the lower end. Thankfully, I think most people thankful. Just a little brush on the lower end of the forecast for sure. And yeah, listen, there's more to come. If you were disappointed, don't worry, you won't have to wait too long. Let's have a look at our picture of the day. We're going to zoom in on Gore, Nova Scotia, and this actually from our friend and colleague Melissa Friedman, a producer here at CBC.
Very winter.
That is a winter scene for sure.
Is it not? Yes. And more of those scenes to come. Thanks to Melissa for that. As we look at our future tracker timeline, so we've got that front coming in from the west. Showers ahead of it for us on Thursday afternoon, just a slight risk into the morning. And then the front comes through. We go from showers to flurries and that big cool down. 2 to 5 centimeters possible with that flurry action overnight into Friday morning, making for the potential for some slick driving conditions Friday morning. The winds howling. And note that setup from the Gulf into Inverness County. It is really going to be setting up for some snow squalls with the strong winds. There is a snow squall watch in effect for both Inverness North and South, as well as Victoria County. Disregard that wind warning box there. That is not in place anymore. There's the snowfall outlook. As you can see, trace to 5 centimeters southern areas, 2 to 5 centimeters for northern areas by Friday morning for most of us. Some lingering amounts into the Friday evening time frame. We don't need to see that wind chill map one more time, do we? I guess. There's Friday morning. Bundle up.
Chilled to the bone for sure. Okay, thanks, Ryan. Snow, I guess it's also blanketed parts of the U.S. Midwest, but there's not a problem, rather, for this Chicago resident, because that's Tim, the brown bear at Chicago's Brookfield Zoo, having a great time, definitely in his element in a heavy snowfall this week.
Yeah, some of Tim's furry neighbors look like they enjoyed the snowy weather, too. The zoo says the snow gives animals new ways to explore, play, and show off some winter skills.
Chicago set a new record for snowfall in November over the U.S. Thanksgiving weekend with 8.4 inches recorded at O'Hare International Airport.
Significant.
Yeah.
That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.